Welcome to Home Biz Tax Talk. My name is Lysandra Everett. I am the Home Biz Tax Lady, where I help home business owners win the tax game. Home Biz Tax Talk airs Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock-ish. And when you tune into my show, you're going to hear about topics that are important to the home business community. All right, so today I want to talk about the difference between liens and levies. And the reason this is important is because, it's a part of the IRS collection process. We talk about tax bills all the time. And the thing about it is that there is a process. And one of the things that you have to do regardless is that you have to file all of your taxes. So if you are if you have a tax debt that you can't pay, the IRS is willing to work with you. There's different programs for that and applications and whatnot. And, if you have a tax debt, you can definitely reach out to me if you need help dealing with that. But in the event that you just say, okay, screw it, I'm not going to do it, then there's a process to go through. So when I hear people say, the IRS just came out of nowhere and took my money, and I'm saying the IRS really doesn't come out of nowhere to take your money. And this is where we get into liens and levies. So I want to talk about the difference. So a lien is a legal claim against your property for payment of a tax debt. Usually the IRS will put a lien against your home. If you have equity in your home, when you go to sell it, if the IRS has a lien against your property, that means that they get their money first. Not you, not the bank, not the settlement company. The IRS gets their money first. And so a lot of times when it comes down to having a home that has a tax lien, people don't want to fool with you because they don't want that money going to the IRS. People want to get their money. And a lien is actually, public record. Okay, so it's not like you're going to have a lien on your home and nobody knows you. You're just going to sell it and go on about your business. It's not going to work that way. It's public record. So a mortgage company will know if you have a lien against your property. So if you're trying to refinance, or like I said, if you're trying to sell, not going to happen as long as that tax lien is in place. And that tax lien will be in place until you satisfy the tax debt. Okay. So just know that if you get a lien placed against your property, you're going to have to, work out something with that tax debt in order for the lien to get removed. Okay. Then a levy is a legal seizure of your property. That's when they come and they, you talk about wage garnishments. That is a levy. I've seen stories, I want to say maybe not 2018, but in 2017, there was a wedding shop in Texas where the IRS seized their property, sold all of their wedding gowns on the cheap to satisfy their tax debt. So yeah, the IRS can come in and legally take your property, okay, and use it to satisfy your tax debt. That's part of the law. But understand how we get there, though. The levies and liens are really way far down in the tax collection process. And in order to get there, you would have had to really have ignored everything else from the IRS. And, it starts out with a letter. If you get a letter from the IRS, open it, read what it says. Okay, that's step one. All right. A lot of times people would get letters from the IRS and simply toss them aside and ignore them, thinking it's going to go away. It is not going away. If you get a letter from the IRS, open it, read it, see what it says. If you don't understand what is going on in that letter, then you need to hire someone to help you, an enrolled agent, a CPA, a tax attorney. These types of people can help you with this stuff. And then, whatever's in the letter, do what it says. If you have a tax bill that you can't pay, again, it's not going to go away. You want to reach out to the IRS. You want to try to work this out, whether it's through a payment plan or if you're really going through a hard time, and offering compromise or something like that, so that you're actively working with the IRS and taking care of the tax debt, and not just ignoring them. The only way that you really get down to liens and levies is if you ignore all of their letters, because they're going to send you a letter They're going to send you another one in about 90 days. They're going to send you another one after that. They're going to send you plenty of letters and give you plenty of time to work to rectify the situation. It's when you don't respond and when you don't do anything that you force the IRS to enforce the law. These are all a part of the law. Liens and levies are a part of tax law that says that the IRS can place a lien, which is a legal claim against your property, or a levy when they seize your property and go sell it to satisfy your tax debt. But like I said, it takes a long time to get there. It's not something where the IRS just says, "Oh, Jack owes us, $5,000. We're just going to go take his house and sell it and, to satisfy the tax debt." No, that is not how this works. The only way that the IRS goes immediately from tax debt to seizing stuff is if they feel like they've got there is a good chance that you're trying to, flee the country or something like that. We're talking about some serious, like, illegal stuff, like drug lords and that kind of thing, right? But just a regular everyday citizen, that is not how this works. And that's why the tax collection process is in place, so that it's not just, some reckless person at the IRS that might be having a bad day and just say, "Oh, I'm just going to go take their stuff." No, there's a process for it. And the process starts with letters. It does not start with phone calls. It does not start with emails. Okay. That does not happen. It starts with letters. And even if you get a letter that you don't believe really should be coming to you, you need to reach out to the IRS to even make sure that's not a scam as well, because I've seen the scammy letters come. They look real. Okay, but this requires you to know your status in, as far as your taxes are concerned. If you get a letter saying that you have this tax debt and you know good and well you don't, then you need to reach out to the IRS to say, "Hey, I received this letter. Did you send this to me?" And they're going to tell you yes or no. Okay, so that's how, if you get a letter, period, make sure you open the letter, and you can call the IRS to confirm that they actually sent the letter to you, and then start working on the situation so that you don't have to get to this part about the IRS taking your stuff, because it does not come from just out the blue. No, that does not happen unless there's some serious legal stuff that you have gotten yourself into. But normally that's not the case. The IRS is not trying to send you to jail for not being able to pay your taxes. Now, there's a difference between not being able to pay your taxes, where you're filing your taxes and you have a tax debt, and you just not reporting income, not filing your taxes. That goes along the lines of tax evasion, not where you're following the law, you just can't pay the bill. Okay? So I hope that that clarifies that. So yeah, so that's the difference between liens and levy. A lien is a legal claim against your property. A levy is when they seize your stuff and they go sell it. That's the difference between a lien and levy. But again, if you work with the IRS in the beginning and working out your tax debt, we're not going to get to the lien and levy part. Okay, just know that. All right. So I hope that helps you out. And listen, if you get a letter from the IRS, you don't know what to do, you can reach out to me and schedule a call at homebiztaxchat.com. You can find an enrolled agent in your area. You can find a CPA in your area. You can find a tax attorney in your area if you don't know what to do. But make sure that you contact the IRS, and keep in touch with them about this thing, because as long as you're in contact with the IRS, they'll be willing to work with you and then, like I said, work out the situation versus getting all down into this stuff. Because once you get into liens and levies, that's when the IRS said, "Boo, we done." Okay, we done sent you letters. Oh, the other thing I want to talk about is that the IRS also has collection agencies that they're using now, based on them having a reduced staff and also reduced funding. They have they're using certain collection agencies, but even with that, you still need to call the IRS. Okay, plain and simple. All right. So thank you guys so much for tuning into Home Biz Tax Talk. Again, we air Monday through Friday, 9:00-ish, and you can come right here to get your questions answered about your home business taxes. All right. Have a great day, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.